We're back.
We're back.
Did you miss us? We missed you guys. A whole bunch, actually. And we're actually really sorry about leaving you hanging. When was the last time that we did a recording?
Oh, it's been since before the wedding.
It was right before the wedding because
Yeah.
we had decided, okay, we're going to get married and then we'll come back to this. We just had a whole lot on our plate the month of
hmm
December. And now just thinking back on it, so much happened that month of December up until now, honestly, when we've really been able to catch our breath. Um, we got married, we bought a house, your business took off up here,
hmm
I got laid off,
We
we lost a
moved.
chinchilla,
You
we
didn't even
moved.
mention we
Yeah, yeah,
moved.
we moved. Exactly. See, there's just so much on the list that I haven't even been able to talk about because it's been so jam packed.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to cover today is pretty much just about the wedding
Oh
because a lot
yeah.
of people have been asking what happened with the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to remember the day. What did you take from it?
What did I take from the wedding?
Yeah. Like what just thinking back on that experience, what did you think about the wedding?
I couldn't have pictured it any better. I mean, it was. I don't know. To me, I feel like it was picture perfect. It was a long week. That's for sure. Like that, like leading up to it.
Yeah.
Because the wedding was on December 31st.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. And we started prepping for it literally like the week before. Like we flew out to California because the wedding was in California.
Yes. Not
Um,
not not to say that we prepped the wedding a week before. The wedding had
no,
been we'd been planning it for months, but
yeah,
our festivities started about a week before the wedding,
yeah.
when we actually flew out to California. Now we don't really have to hide any details since it's already passed. We
hmm
got married in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, at Wayfarer's Chapel, which was
Beautiful chapel.
beautiful,
Beautiful,
beautiful
beautiful.
ceremony. And that week was great. But you said that you wouldn't change anything. It was picture perfect for you. I would have changed the ending.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
getting
yeah. Good point. Okay, well, you
you
asked
getting
about
sick.
the wedding.
Okay,
After the
well, I
wedding,
when we think of the wedding and after the wedding, I wish there was something that we could have changed, but you
another
can tell them what
story.
happened.
Yeah. So, okay. So back to the wedding. So we were prepping for it. Everything was going good. Family flew in 4 days before the wedding. We were literally, we'll get to this in the probably the next episode, but we're literally signing papers on our new home the same day we were doing the rehearsal. So that was really, really like, whoa, we are knocking shit out right now. Like we are doing all kinds of stuff. We're literally up on the mountaintop um, at the church doing the rehearsal, and also at the same time you're signing our paperwork for our new house. We're sitting there together, and it's just like that right there was a very surreal moment of like we are taking control of our lives. Like we
Yeah.
are
So
getting
not
married, getting
only
our own
were we
home.
in the process of getting married, we were also in the process of buying our home and meeting
Yeah,
the deadline until I became Mrs. O'Shell. Because
yeah,
then if I would have became Mrs. O'Shell before that, it would have been a whole other obstacle course of being able to get the house. So, but that we'll talk about in another episode. But yeah, family and friends. Chance's family is in Texas, here in Texas. So they were the ones who did all the flying out, as well as his best friend, Cormac,
hmm
flew in from New York City that week.
which
And you
is
will later find out that Cormac was the beginning of the end, as
yeah,
we would like to say, when it comes to what happened the night after the wedding. So the wedding rehearsal happened. We were getting everything together. There was an issue with my dress. I don't know if I told you that. Did I
yeah. You
text
told
you?
me. You told
Okay.
me that.
So I had dropped off my dress in Palos Verdes maybe like 4 days before the wedding because it needed to get pressed and get all the wrinkles out. Because I don't know what the material of the dress was, but it needed to get the wrinkles out. It easily wrinkled. So I wanted to make sure that I had it the night before the wedding. The day before the wedding, I went to go pick it up and it hadn't even been touched yet. So I'm there flailing and I'm like, okay, things are starting to just go awry. This is like the omen that things are not going to go well. This is the first thing that's just kind of making me doubt, is everything going to go smoothly? So after we kind of got in the tiff with the laundry service that was supposed to iron my dress, And we got that all sorted out. Things were kind of smooth sailing. But I don't think I was a bridezilla. Do you?
No, not at all. I mean, I wasn't your bridesmaids, so I wouldn't know exactly. But according to everybody else, no, you definitely weren't a bridezilla. It was very chill. I think we were both very chill, but it's because we spent so much time planning it beforehand, or you did. I didn't do too much of it, but you spent so much time to where when we got out there, it wasn't really a big deal. Like you already knew everything. You already had everything purchased. There's this stupid one little fly in our house that keeps
Yeah,
bothering
you're.
me.
I don't know why it's
Gosh,
like leaving that garage. I see it like flying around the
it's
mic.
so annoying. But yeah, it was so essentially. I think that's why we weren't stressed and why you weren't a bridezilla was because of like going into it totally planned. Like there wasn't really a lot, I feel like, to fail either, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. Like this church is known for being on time, everything flows perfectly. Like, so you didn't really have to worry about that. And then the reception was just a basic hall that like we didn't have like all kinds of different moving parts. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting on a wedding for 100+ people and there's catering and all kinds of stuff, like
Hmm.
our wedding was pizza and literally cheesecake. So like it was
But I
simple.
also have a theory. I have a theory that if you are a bridezilla, if you are a bridezilla, you care more about the wedding than you do about your marriage.
Yeah,
And where I
possibly.
mean, when I was planning the wedding, I was like, this is really about us, what we like. For the reception, we did pizza and cheesecake because that's such a
Hmm.
big part of our relationship is Cheesecake Factory cheesecake, and we love
Hmm.
pizza. Everybody loves pizza. So we didn't go super extravagant on the reception. We didn't even know up until maybe a month before the wedding that we were going to do a reception. We had
Yeah.
planned to just get married and that be it. Then,
Yeah. We
we
were
were going
just
to
going to
go to
have
Disneyland.
a beautiful
Hmm.
ceremony and then we were going to do like a little something in your aunt's backyard or your uncle's
Yeah,
backyard or something.
something.
But
But we just decided to get everybody together um at the it was a Masonic lodge.
yeah,
That was the
out of
place that
all the
was just
places.
yeah, it was amazing. It was fine. Was it the most picture perfect, visual? No. But again, I didn't really care. I To this
Yeah.
day I still don't care. I love that everybody had fun
We had
because the
fun. I
main
mean,
takeaway is everybody was on the dance floor
yeah.
all night.
Yeah.
So that was really really fun.
Um, and now we're nearing right the end of the night. People start picking up. It was really, really like to see family come together. I think that was really cool for me too. Like to see your family and my family like working together to put the chairs back, and because like we didn't hire people to put all
Mhm.
of our stuff up and then everything like that.
It
So
was an
everybody just
insanely casual reception.
yeah,
Yes.
everybody just started helping put the chairs back in the corners and grab the linens and throw the leftover food out. And it was just, to me, that was really cool to sit back and just be like, wow. And at the same time, I also started at that point feeling really bad. Um, and was kind of like just thinking, you know what, it's been a long like week of, preparing at the reception and all of this stuff. And
It
so
was
I'm
just
just
like a
thinking
big
like,
adrenaline
yeah,
dump, like
I'm like,
after
you
the
know what?
adrenaline.
I think I'm just getting really tired.
Right.
So we're about to head out. We're getting in the car. Last one's there to leave, obviously. And halfway to getting to the hotel, I look over at Haley and I'm like, I don't feel good. I don't. I feel terrible. And like, I'm not gonna admit I can be a little dramatic when it comes to getting sick. Like, but this is our
As
wedding
all
night.
men. As all men. Yeah, I know. I know. I
But
was like, oh no.
this is our wedding night. I'm starting to feel really bad. Um, we get to the hotel, and that alone should have been like this perfect situation too. That was like awesome because I'm walking in my tux, you're walking in your wedding dress.
Dress.
It's New
Everybody's
Year's
clapping.
Eve. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's New Year's. Everyone's clapping, and I'm just like, I want to get to my hotel
What
because
did
I'm
you start to feel? Like what was the number one symptom that you were like, okay, something's not right?
the aches, just
You were
aching,
achy.
hurting. No nausea yet or anything like that. So yeah, we get up to the room. And, of course, like it's our wedding night. So we lay down together. And then I just look over at her and I'm like, and nothing happening tonight. I feel terrible. And like, which is hilarious to me because, like, what guy in the world would be like, no, that ain't happening tonight, like on
Yeah,
your
it was
wedding night?
supposed to be wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, And instead it was wah, wah, wah. That's
Yeah,
exactly what
it
it
was
was.
terrible. I felt awful. I mean, there was no way we were doing anything whatsoever. I felt so bad. Then we got on DoorDash, got CVS to come bring me some medicine. I had to walk down to the lobby with like 103-degree temperature and wanting to throw up and just feeling like crap. Um, and the worst part about all of this is the next day is our like little honeymoon, but with my family. We're going to Disney.
Yeah. It,
You
it
tell
it it
that
wasn't
part.
necessarily like a honeymoon. It was more of just uh
Celebration. Like a,
yeah.
yeah,
It was a fun outing because none of his family's been to California before.
yeah.
um, Especially Disney. And I mean, the kids were there, so it was supposed to be a real fun day of both of us showing
Hmm.
them around a park that has meant so much in our relationship. It's where Chance proposed. It's
Hmm.
where we go every single time we go to California. We always make it an effort to go out there because it's just such a happy place, filled with so many great memories for us. So I was so excited, and the family was so excited that we were going to be able to experience that together. So I tell Chance, I'm like, okay, let's just try to shake this off by the morning so that you can go, because I know he was really looking forward to going.
Hmm.
Everybody's tickets had been paid for, the reservations were made, so there was really no getting out of this. You're not going to tell 9-year-old kids, yeah, we can't go to Disney
Yeah,
anymore,
that's
even
not
though
happening.
you've been hyping them up for it. So no, we're giving him the medicine. We're like, okay, sleep. Don't even worry about anything. Just try to shake it off by the morning and see if maybe you can tough it out for the day. He tries, and then what is it? I get up at maybe 5 in the morning to start getting ready because I plan to take the family there to be there for rope drop and get the full experience. And he rolls over and he's like, "Yeah, I'm
Nope,
not going to be able to go."
not happening.
So, so I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, I'm not going to leave him alone in this hotel room right now." He's hunched over, and when Chance gets sick, I don't know if it's just my husband or husbands around the world, but when Chance gets sick, it's like a plethora of symptoms that range from, oh, I have a cold, to I'm on my deathbed. So you never know the
Yeah,
actual severity of what the disease is.
that's about
Man
what it's
disease,
like.
right? So I tell him, I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Help me just I'll pack everything up and you just try to get out of bed. I'm going to get you in the car and I will drive you to the hotel where I'm picking up the rest of your family because we were staying in a different hotel. So we get him into the car. That's a chore. Because of just how sick it is. So it's hard. I'm loading everything up. I'm getting him into the car and I'm like, "Okay, I will drop you off at the hotel and you can stay with your dad for the day because his dad
Yeah,
wasn't
so
going to go to Disney."
we left our
Um
hotel. I went over to my dad's hotel, and
mhm.
because my dad wasn't going to Disneyland because his feet were hurting and he didn't want to walk 10
Yeah,
miles around the
he's
whole
just got
park,
bad
which,
legs.
yeah,
So
which I
wouldn't
get.
be able to
That's
really keep up. Yeah. So but I mean
understandable.
it worked out perfectly. You were able to spend the day with your dad even though it wasn't the most ideal situation. You guys had each other for company.
Yeah.
Um and then when was it that we found out that it was COVID? Do you
Like a
remember?
week later, I think
Yeah.
it wasn't right then because I took a COVID test.
Yeah, so hold
Um,
on. Let's rewind to remember Cormac we mentioned earlier. Cormac was the beginning of the end.
mhm.
uh, we had hung out with him a few days before the wedding when he flew in. We had gone shopping, kind of showed him around the Los Angeles area. And he had wanted to go take a nap midday, which I don't think anything of that because I'm a midday napper too. But apparently that's different for him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
that's
doesn't
something he
really
can
nap
attest to. Yeah,
on
so
the reg.
so what was his like what was he saying to you?
He just wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
Like it was maybe 3 days before the wedding, and I know we
Mhm.
keep kind of jumping around the timeline, but like maybe 3 days before the wedding, he wasn't feeling good, and like we were setting up for the reception and everything like that. He's like, I just need a nap. He wouldn't like. He's like, I just don't really feel good. I think it's the allergies out here or something. It's like mid December. Like, what are you talking about? That's not even a thing. You don't even have allergies. But yeah, so but we didn't think anything of it. Like, all right, he's not feeling too bad. Like we're all thinking about the wedding and everything like that. But yeah, come to find out, right when we get back home, and I talked to him and I told him, that I was feeling bad. Well, he knew I was feeling bad because I didn't go to Disney, and he went to Disney too.
He
Um,
did come, so that was funny. It was me with like all your side of the family and like your best friend.
Yeah. But yeah, a few days after that, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that my mom just told me." So his mom had COVID at Christmas. And so he got
Oh no.
COVID from his mom and then came out to the wedding and didn't realize he wasn't feeling bad yet because literally he left December 26th, the day after Christmas. So he was with his mom on December 25th, came out and then infected the whole family. Yeah. So I was the first one to get sick. And then the whole next 2 weeks, I've like everybody's home already, obviously. Like
Hmm.
we, everybody went to Disney, and then the day after Disney, everybody flew home, and people started feeling bad. Um, so that was a bummer. My brother calls it was the mass COVID spreader, not our
Yeah, it was a
wedding,
super spreader event
super
of the
spreader
year.
event. Um,
That's what it was. I felt really
Luckily,
bad.
nobody actually got like deathly
Deathly
sick,
ill.
yeah, or anything.
Yeah.
And this was when COVID is treatable at that point and everything. So, um, yeah, it could have ended better. Everything else was great, but I think me not being at Disney, like you said multiple times, that it almost made it a better experience for you as well. Like being brand new to the actual family, like being an
It was like
actual member of the
the
family.
official initiation into the family.
Yeah, like you
Um,
got to go spend all day with my family without me.
yeah, and I mean it was a really good day. It's one of my favorite things in the world is going to Disney with people who've never been because I
Mhm.
love to see it like through their eyes. And I was able, since I am, the planner that I am, especially when it comes to Disney, I wanted to make sure that they were able to get on every ride
Yeah.
and that they had nothing but a positive experience. So throughout the day, I kind of got to watch everybody smile and laugh and hang out together. It was good for what it was. It was very, very good. I mean, to this day, I still wish that you were there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think the kids even realized that you weren't there talking to them.
I know we talk about it and they're like, Chance, remember when we went on Indiana Jones and the rock was falling? And I'm like, I didn't go with
You're
you.
like, I wasn't there.
Yeah. I know you had so much fun. You didn't even realize that the one that was being celebrated in your family was not there. But
I know.
no, I think it was a good little bonding experience for you with my family and my nieces and nephews. I think it kind of got you a little bit closer
Yeah.
because you got to show them the park and I didn't interject. Because like I'll be honest, like I'm the louder speaker. I'd come off stronger. So I think it
Well,
was
just
meant.
you're part of that family, so you're
Yeah.
you're kind of the leader of that family
Yeah. I think it was kind of
in the
meant
sense.
for me to get sick and you have that time with them. So that's why I say picture perfect and I wouldn't change anything about it. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, the wedding itself, okay, so we need to preface this by saying that we paid for the wedding all by ourselves.
yeah, we were proud of that.
So that was it made me very proud of us
Yeah.
because we were able to do what we wanted.
Hmm.
Didn't really care about what anybody
I
else had
think
to say about it.
that's probably another big thing about like the bridezilla part you were talking about. Like we knew nobody could tell us like what they're going to do. Nobody else really had an input.
Yeah, it's
It
like, oh, I'm
was,
sorry, did you pay for this? No,
yeah,
then shut up.
it was our day, our wedding, our everything.
Right.
Um, but yeah,
And the thing that we wanted initially, rewinding it, we kind of planned the wedding on a whim. We were originally supposed to go to Paris and do a little
hmm,
kind of elopement thing. Then I found out that my grandparents were sick and we just didn't know if they were going to make it or not. Plot twist, they did, and they had a blast at the wedding. But we were going to go to Paris and do that. When they got sick, we were like, okay, I really would like to have it in California where my family's at so that my
so they
grandparents
didn't
can
have to
go.
travel and all that.
Exactly. So,
And it was also like right before that, you had went on a vacation and you were like, I don't want to do this without you. And then I had went on a vacation without you. And I was like, I also don't want to like go on vacations without you. And we're like, we really need to get married. Like we need to step this up. And I think that was
yeah, that's
another,
how we came to the decision that we were just going to have the wedding like
yeah.
soon. But we were kind of in a time crunch because I wanted it to happen in a good time frame to where our families could go. They had time to plan
Hmm.
flights, hotels, and all that fun stuff. And I think we did the best with what we had.
Yeah.
And the place that we decided to get married, because we decided, okay, if we're going to have a wedding with everybody, I want the ceremony to be the most beautiful part of everything. I don't care too much to splurge on reception stuff. We weren't going to have a reception, like I said earlier.
A lot of
up
people
until
are
maybe
there,
like a couple months before.
like all there for the party, the reception.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another big difference is like, we're not huge drinkers. We're not huge partiers.
Mm-mm.
That wasn't really the intent of getting married, to celebrate with everybody. The intent to getting married was that the marriage, the
Yeah.
ceremony, then the beautiful church, the people that we love next to us. Like, and I think for anybody that's listening to this, like if you're not getting married and that's not your number one priority, I just think about it like a little bit more. Like, should the reception be the number one priority? I don't agree with that mentality of we need to impress absolutely everyone and spend all of our money on that. Like, the
Oh, I'm
reason
sure
we had,
people. Yeah, I'm sure people had stuff to say because our reception wasn't the most picturesque thing, but our ceremony was beautiful, and that's as long as I had pictures of that, like the important thing, marrying you. That's all I really cared about.
yeah,
But I was really happy with how much our families kind of chipped in to help. Since we're not drinkers, we were like, okay, well, what kind of alcohol are we going to buy? I had
yeah,
like my uncle and Cormac and everybody. They kind of took care of the alcohol and they manned the bar and,
hmm
you know, were helpful to the people who like to drink.
and nobody
Whereas,
asked for help with flights or stay or room and board or anything like that. Like, a lot of times, you'll want to fly family out or whatnot, but luckily all of our Texas family flew out, no issues.
mhm.
So that was all good too. Appreciate all of that. But no, I was really, I really, I stand by my. I wouldn't change anything about it. Even the sick part. I liked you being able to have that special time with my family.
Yeah, that was really nice. If we kind of go backwards a little bit. I know the timelines are kind of everywhere, but just so much happened. I forget what happened in what order. The day that we flew out to California,
Oh
Chinchi
yeah,
died.
our
Chinchi
chinchilla
died.
died,
Our chinchilla died.
which was like my best friend. So like, I was
Chance's
a big
best friend.
gamer at the time, and I have this chinchilla that literally every night I would let out of his cage, and he would come up and he would jump on me and sit with me while I played video games with my friends or whatever. And just, I loved that guy so much, and so did Haley. We had an actual bond with him. Like, this is a basically rodent you're talking about, that when you walk up to the cage, it would walk up to the edge, like, pick me up, pet me, give me
You're gonna
treats.
make me
Like,
cry.
um, yeah. So this is Christmas Eve. We're flying out to
Yeah,
go
it was on Christmas Eve, which made it even worse.
to go there, and yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning we wake up, and I had accidentally left one of the cage doors open or whatever, and one of the dogs got a hold of him. But one of the dogs got a hold of him the day before. That happened the day before, and he squealed and then was fine. Like, our dogs aren't aggressive. Like, our dogs aren't going to eat him. But chinchillas are one of the most fragile animals, like, in the world. Literally, like, you just squeeze them a little bit, and their organs
And
just like,
yeah,
yeah. Um,
that
so it
happened the day
was,
before, and I heard a squeal, and I freaked out because
yeah.
that was a different squeal than I heard before.
But then he
Um,
was fine. Like, he
in shock a
was,
little bit.
yeah, obviously scared or whatever. And anyways, long story short, the next day we woke up and he was a lot worse. Um, he was barely breathing, and we had to take him and put him down. Yeah, we had to
Like
have
a
our,
few hours before our flight.
yeah, we're
That
literally leaving. Like, we were supposed to leave at noon, and we ended up delaying our flight till later that evening because we had to take him to the vet to go
see if they could help them,
see if
but
they
in the
could help
back
him.
of our mind, we
Yeah,
kind
we
of
knew.
knew it was they were gonna put him down. We just couldn't watch him suffer.
Yeah,
So
that was a bummer.
and then
Um,
so we literally we he was put down and we had to just go and board our plane.
yeah. So now we're like flying out to California for our wedding, and we're both just like crying on the plane, like the whole way there, because this isn't happy. Like, nothing's happy about what just happened. Um, but I think once we got there, it was kind of, we were able to,
We made ourselves switch
yeah,
gears to okay,
yeah, it's like,
this
we're
is
in wedding mode.
we are getting married.
Yeah,
We will grieve after we celebrate
yeah,
because no one's going to have any fun if we're here just depressed
yeah. It was terrible.
for a week. So yeah, that happened and that was really depressing and that kind of took a turn for the worse, but all in all, it was a great time.
Yeah, highly recommend getting married if you're in love. It's
Yes,
great.
and please invest in a videographer and a photographer.
I think that was so, like, a lot of people might, we won't even say dollars, but spend a lot of money on drinks and alcohol and food or whatnot. But like, we put all of our money towards the photographer and videographer of our ceremony, and then we had them at the reception for an hour. So they got us in our first dance and everything like that, and it was perfectly fine. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I would highly recommend spending the money on a good videographer so you can cherish that moment forever. I mean, Haley and I still to this day, I'd say once a month, we'll look,
We
go
watch our
back, look at,
video.
watch the video, and just be like, oh. And then like that, we had full speeches. We had all the videos of the entire full speeches. The speeches were phenomenal. My brother gave a great one. Haley's dad gave a great one. Um, it was phenomenal. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
really really good. I loved being able to go back and watch the whole speech, because when you're sitting there and like everyone's looking at you, and I don't think you like really take it all in. So to have the video, to be able to listen back to the speeches and to be able to watch you dance with your mom or your dad, or watch your first dance or all that stuff, like experience it from another view. It's just so worth it. Like, and if you can
Or
only
if you're,
afford,
about to get sick with COVID and you really can't focus on anything except the
yeah.
fact that you're sick.
But wouldn't you say, like, so if somebody was like, I can only afford one, like like videography
Videographer.
or photography, which one would you do?
Videography, 100%. I just think there's
And
so much more emotion that you can capture in video than in
yeah,
photo, and you can
like we
watch it
have
back forever.
beautiful wedding portraits. They're
Yes.
they're gorgeous, but the video is just the movement, the livelihood of it, the
Mm-hmm.
everything. I think
Because you can still,
was
it's
incredible.
something to look back on when, when your grandparents are gone and, you get to see the smiles on their faces again and you can actually
Yeah,
see them moving in real time versus, just kind of stuck in a picture. So
yeah,
that's something that I will always cherish, and I will always vouch for people to really invest in a quality videographer,
for sure.
um, and be picky about it.
Yeah,
110%. Just find somebody who matches your style. I wanted mine to kind of feel like a movie, and the person that we hired did exactly that. And I couldn't have asked for it to be more beautiful. Like you said, we watch it. I mean, it's pinned on my Instagram profile. We'll pin it to No Niche Needed, or I'll
yeah.
I'll post it on No Niche Needed so everybody can see the video. It was such a good day.
It was
Such
it
a
was
good
an
day.
amazing day, and the fact that we did it all at the same time of also putting money down on a house, signing the contract, talking to inspectors, doing all of that while we're also literally at our reception hall putting that together was just
I know. Pat ourselves on the back. We
pat
did that
ourselves on the
thing.
back. So I
We'll
would
go more in
say,
depth on like the
yeah,
house process, moving and everything,
maybe next
probably the
next
next episode.
episode we'll
But
go into after the
we did
wedding,
we did a
moving.
whole bunch, and there's a reason why we haven't got to kind of revamp the podcast
Yeah,
since December of last year. There's just been so much going on, but
yeah.
in the best way. I mean, life is so unpredictable, and when it gets going, just enjoy it.
So stay
So
tuned for the next episode.
yeah, we'll see you then.
Awesome.